Please confirm me if you can see my screen. Okay, fantastic. Okay guys, so let's get started. So yesterday we understood how to deploy the applications from SAP Web IDE to SAP system. Now we have all the applications inside our SAP system and we can manage the show completely. We do not need Web IDE for any further pushing as of now if there are no code changes. Moreover, if we do any changes in the CDS, it would automatically impact the SAP application which is directly in the browser. Directly in the browser means directly in the system and directly in the SAP Fiori Launchpad. No separate efforts have to be maintained for that. Okay. The most important thing that we have to understand is how SAP Fiori Launchpad works, what are tiles, each and everything. Okay. So it's all about SAP Fiori Launchpad. So guys, before I start, I need to give you some introduction so that you have a wider scope and understanding what is SAP Fiori Launchpad and how it operates. Okay. So SAP Fiori is a central repository that brings all the different kind of applications in the form of tiles. Okay, this is one of the most important thing. SAP Fiori Launchpad is a central repository that brings all the applications in the form of tiles. Okay, so SAP Fiori Launchpad is a central repository that brings all the applications in the form of tiles, and all the applications which are coming in the form of tiles across different modules, you can say across different modules. Okay, so we have different modules like logistics, procurement, HR and all. So each and everything across various modules we can have a bifurcation and section. Okay, so there are 5 design principles and guidelines. Okay, what are those design principles? I'll guide you and you can even have a look into it. So there are 5 design principles, like it is simple, coherent, delightful, responsive and role-based. Simple, delightful, coherent, role-based and responsive. Okay. So simple itself means it has a very simple look and feel. It is very simple. If you talk about very popular things like we have Google, Facebook and all, they don't use n number of colors. Like Facebook is white and blue. So it's quite simple, but it is quite delightful as well. Okay. So simple is it has a simple look and feel, and it is not something that has the mixture of all the colors, each and everything in the picture. Delightful, yes, by look and feel, by each and everything, it is quite delightful and it has a better user experience. Okay, so all these principles play a very important role. Now, role-based and responsive, guys. Role-based is a bigger concept. I need to tell you in detail. Just a second. For role-based, other things are very easier by the way we understand it. Okay, let me make it properly. Fine. Okay. So guys, role-based is something. Say for example, in SAP Fiori Launchpad, there are many people who will access the application. Say for example, we have leave request creation. So leave request creation is used across each and every person in an organization. Okay, so that is one thing. But if there is a delete functionality in leave request creation, that should not be accessible to everyone. That should be only accessible to administrators. So that validation is being handled in SAP Fiori Launchpad, because the moment we log in SAP Fiori Launchpad, we can easily pick up the logged in user, and based on that we can manage the complete show. We can do the validations, we can use it using flags. By retrieving the SAI username, we can easily manipulate the way we want to. Okay, Now, role-based is not just restricting a specific application, restricting the labels of application as well. Say, for example, there are two users, A and B. A is basically an employee and B is basically a manager. So considering leave request, because it's a very common practice so people can understand it faster. So leave request creation can be used by each and every person in an organization and they can feature the way they want, but leave approval should be only accessible to the manager. So manager would access application A plus B, whereas employee will only access application A. So hiding and unhiding of applications can also be managed in SAP Fiori Launchpad. Role-based concept plays a very important role there. So these two examples were something like if you want to validate the complete application like hiding and unhiding based on the roles, that is possible. If you want to restrict certain functionalities based on the user login, that is also possible. That requires code development. Okay, so this is one important thing that we should understand. Responsive is as simple as that. It is responsive in all the devices. We do not have to code separately to make it responsive. Once the application is developed, especially in case of Fiori elements, it is responsive in all the devices. Okay, so one important thing. And adding to this, guys, one small thing that I want to add here is, if you remember in list report, we had a table, and by giving the aggregation sums and using sum and all, it was showing in lines and all. So we had an alternate solution of making it responsive. So we would be following that because we don't want to restrict any application on the device. We have to keep it completely responsive. That's the whole target. Okay, so these were the 5 important design principles and guidelines we had, and there is a blog I'll share with you. You can just read it in detail. You would have a better understanding on that. Okay, so but this knowledge is very important. In any interview question, they will ask you what are the design principles, tell me the specifications, how you can handle this, what is SAP Fiori Launchpad, how it launches the application. Each and everything is very important. Now, sorry, my bad. Now the next thing what we have to understand is what is SAP Fiori Launchpad and what is SAP Fiori Launchpad Designer. Guys, these are two different things. I'll explain each and everything one by one. First we will discuss on SAP Fiori Launchpad and then Fiori Launchpad Designer. SAP Fiori Launchpad. So SAP Fiori Launchpad, I'll repeat, it's a central repository that brings all the applications in the form of tiles across different modules, and SAP Fiori Launchpad is used by everyone. Let me tell you the details with bifurcation. Same, let me replicate it quickly to save time. Okay, so this is one thing. SAP Fiori Launchpad is a central repository that brings all the applications in the form of tiles across different modules. That is one thing. SAP Fiori Launchpad is used by each and everyone in the organization who is part of the system. Okay, so basically SAP Fiori Launchpad is something that is used by the end users, like for whom we are building the applications. It is used by developers like us so that we can do what all things have been assigned to us. So Fiori Launchpad is only used across each and everyone in the organization. Now let's understand Fiori Launchpad Designer. Okay, so SAP Fiori Launchpad Designer, SAP Fiori Launchpad Designer helps you in building catalogs, tiles, groups, and target mappings. All these concepts I'll explain you in detail once we practically deep dive into it, maybe tomorrow or max tomorrow, maybe today or max tomorrow. Okay, So SAP Fiori Launchpad Designer helps you in building catalog, styles, groups, and target mappings. It is only used by technical people for configurations. I mean, no end user will be using it because it is purely used by technical. Many people have a lot of confusion in this, so it was very important to discuss this so that things become quite easy for you to understand. Okay, guys. So these all things play a very important role, and based on that, we have to understand. We will be firstly working on the Launchpad Designer, completing the process so that application can be accessible in the Fiori Launchpad. Okay, so these are the main differences that we have to understand. Okay, now we will completely understand the SAP Fiori tile creation. Now we will be understanding the complete process. So the process is how to create a tile in SAP Fiori Launchpad. From here, our practical journey gets started. So I'll mention steps here in detail, and then we will slowly and gradually start it one by one. So how to create a tile in SAP Fiori Launchpad is first is create a new Launchpad role in LPD cust. What is each and everything I'll explain you in detail, and also I'll create it. Second is create a new semantic object. This is the second step. I'm telling at a very high level. Third is maintain or rather create catalog, then tile, create catalog tiles and target mappings, create group and add your catalog in that, maintain PFCG roles. These are the 5 detailed steps. Just a second. These are the 5 detailed steps, guys. So we will be doing it one by one. So rather than me doing everything from start to end, better is I'll complete 2 roles, I'll complete 2 things, and then you can implement the 2 in your system. Let's go step by step because we have received a couple of feedbacks from previous people. So they have suggested not to, like, the trainer should not complete everything in one go. We should go step by step and then do it. So what I'll do is I'll quickly complete first, or rather I'll complete one step because this is little bigger. These are very smaller steps. Okay, so first I'll complete this step, and then you can practically implement it in your system. Okay, so starting is creating a new Launchpad or LPD role in LPD cust. I'll start. So we'll go here. We are in SAP and we will go to transaction LPD cust. And here we will click on new Launchpad and we will be giving the details here. So I'll give a new role name of my choice. ZCDS underscore Fiori, something like this. Instance, we should always have a transactional because these are transactional apps. And description, you can give anything of your choice. CDS with Fiori elements. This is my Launchpad role name. This is important. No, I don't need a namespace. I'm okay. 1 second, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Guys, listen to me very, very carefully. Do not start practicing now, otherwise you will simply miss the content. I'll give you sufficient time to do it. Okay? Fine. So now go to T code LPD cust sorry, create a new launchpad role and provide role instance and description. That's it. Okay, so these are the just two steps. I'll moving it ahead now. So once we are inside this, let me add the technical details as well. Once this is done, now let me add LPD role ZCDS underscore Fiori. This is my LPD role. It's better to maintain all the roles at one go so that it is easy for you to understand, guys. The next step is I'll click on new application, and here we would be giving all the details. Link text, I'll give anything. So first we'll start with list report. So I'll give list report Fiori app. We can rename this at whatsoever point of time we require. We have couple of options here. So I'll give it as URL. Okay. And here in the URL, guys, if you remember yesterday, I've shown you the path for every application for UI5 in the SSCM. We have a path. So let me go back to my document a step before. Okay, 1 second, guys. See, guys, this is basically the path of your application /SAP/BC /UI5 underscore UI5 /SAP and then your BSP name. So this would be the path followed by the BSP. So we have deployed it, right? So we would have the names also, and these are my BSP names. So at an overall level, you will have this path. Here I'll click on new application and provide below details. Here you need to give your list report BSP, so I'll quickly give it. All these details and information are making my work quite easier and quite easier for you as well. So once you click on new application, let me make some work easy for you. Enter the link text. First is this. Sorry. Then we have application type. So application type URL, and URL whatever we have, we need to enter this. Here it is a free text. Free text, guys, I'm making it so easy so that your future reference should be damn easy for you if you are accessing it after a month or two or whenever. Okay, so I should rather close this as it is not into use today. Sorry, just we have the habit, so we're going there. So let me quickly add the URL. Once we add the URL, let's see if there is any backspace or anything. No, we don't have. So we can then click on this. It means our URL is added for the same. Then we need to click on show advanced parameters, and we need to give an application alias. An application alias refers to a specific application, and we can give any name of our choice. So here I'll give ZCDS list Fiori app. Application alias is a unique name. It acts like a qualifier, guys. as this batch knows the concept of qualifier, so it acts like that. So let me append the document as well. Click on show advanced parameters. Click on show advanced parameters. Then enter application alias name. Okay, just to make your understanding quite easy. Next is one important thing, that is additional information. So here you need to give your component.js name that we have redefined yesterday. So there is a way to give it. How to give it? SAP UI5.component equals to your component name. So now Web IDE would come into picture, which I have just closed it. Just a second. Guys, can you see my browser? Can you see this browser? Okay. Okay, fine. So we would be okay. Okay, guys, fine. I got the answer. So this was my list report, and we'll open this and we'll open the component file. So before dot of this component, whatever name you have, that is your component name. So I take this component name and we'll enter it here in the document as well. So this is my component name. Additional information, your component name. Okay, guys. So these details are sufficient that we have to give, and these are set of configurations that we have to follow, so we don't have more understanding on that. Whatever it is required, like the best I can give you. Like this is my component name. Application alias is a unique qualifier that would be called at some else place. Where it is, I'll show you it in some time. And then you have to give the URL. URL is nothing but the URL of the application that we have given. Sorry, my bad. And then the link text. That's it. Once it is done, you need to then click on save. So this is saved. If you want, you come back and you can check it. Okay. So here you can search by your role. Let me see ZCDS underscore Fiori. Hit displayed 1. Today is the date, SCR this, each and everything is coming. So if I want, I can again click on display and I can see this list report. This has been created with advanced options, whatever you can see here. Okay guys, so this was a little higher step and many of you are totally new into this, which is totally acceptable. So I'll give you 10 to 15 minutes, complete this. Rest things are not that bigger, they are quite, they can be done quite faster. But here, if you do a simple mistake of a dot, all the efforts will not work. Now one simple thing, I'll tell you what is the mistake here. Let me go back and explain you. I'll click on change and then see the magic, guys. Let me double click on this. Let me click on this edit. Can you see a space here? This is not acceptable, guys. I need to remove this space. Now I need to again click back on edit. Now see, this is proper, and then click on save. I purposely did so that you should understand even a small dot can make a difference. Even a small space will stop your work. So make sure you give your things each and everything very carefully, and all these things are a continuous process. Okay, I have delivered this in many things. Considering each and everything, we will go very slowly in this because people have really bad time in this. So I'll keep this document open. I'll give you 10 to 12 minutes. Complete this in your system so that one step missed means nothing can move forward. Okay. I'll review just a second. Okay, just I'll open the screen so that it is very easy for you. These steps would help you to get your things done. Obviously, you need to create your BSP names. You need to give your component name, guys. Okay, be quick, guys. Guys, you're done or still you need more minutes? Quickly reply, else I should start ahead. Okay, fantastic. Okay guys, most of you have done, so please stop your work and focus. Adding to this guys, there are many approaches to achieve this. We can do it in many ways, okay. We can do many, there are many ways to handle it, so we will follow the process that we are following everywhere. Okay, so that is one thing. Sorry. Okay, yeah, this was anyways the component part. Okay, so we will quickly append this entire process. That would help us for ease understanding. So I'll note it as done. Now we'll create other steps like semantic object and other things that are required. So guys, for semantic object, the transaction is /n/ui2/semobj. This is the transaction required. We will be creating a new semantic object guys, and where semantic object is used, okay, along with target mapping, that I'll show you directly in the Fiori Launchpad Designer. Sorry. Yes, we have noted the transaction. Okay. So this is our second step. Okay. We'll click on edit here. That's fine. One second. Guys, someone is SR27 is accessing this. Please come out of this. It's hampering my work. I told you nobody would practice as anyone is off now. Everyone, please leave it. Please come out. Better. See guys, so we are here. I have already told so many times, even if you know, just go with the flow. Let's not rush things. Still, I don't know why this happens so many times. Anyways, so guys, many people are completely new here. I have to think of each and every person. Okay, if you know something additional, it is good for you. But let's go with the flow of everyone. Everyone has came with the expectation, and we have to go and match with everyone. Okay. I'll then click on new entries, and here we will be creating a new semantic object name. So I'll create any name of my choice, but it should be a little bit relevant. ZSCM OBJ CDS list REP something. So it gives the understanding it's a list kind of report. And same, I'll give the semantic object name. You can give exactly same. I personally give it same. And here you can have a description. Semantic object for list report Fiori app. And then you need to click on save. That is it. Transport, one second, I'll maintain this. Semantic object name, what we have is, this is done. I'll go a step ahead and let me check the transport number. Okay, ending with 444. Is it the same? Yes, so I can utilize the same work with, that's not a problem. So this is done. This was a very small step, so I cannot leave this and ask you to work. Let me complete other steps as well. And these steps should be followed in a proper sequence the way I'm doing it. So we have created a semantic object name. We have written the steps. Firstly, what we have to do is, the moment we go to this transaction, click on edit, click check, and then click on new entries. Enter semantic object name and description. Okay. So these are the steps for that. That's it. And a semantic object name is only required, nothing else. So this is also done. We'll complete step 3 and 4 also, and then you can practice it. This was quite a smaller one. Okay. Now the thing is, create catalog styles and target mappings. This would be part of your Fiori Launchpad Designer. The note I have already added it above. The next step is creating tiles, catalogs and groups in LPD Designer. Sorry. So we have a URL for Launchpad Designer. I'll send the URL on the chat, but I have something to say also on that. So guys, in the SAP Fiori Launchpad Designer, now you would be thinking, now I'm giving you a URL that is specific to my system, but how can we drive if we are using for any of the client? How can we be dynamic in that? So let me answer you that. First of all, let me open the URL and then I can explain you in a better shape because it's already bookmarked. So this is my Launchpad Designer. So guys, the host and the port, this complete one is only different for each and every system. The URL other we have from SAP to main.html is 100% same and static. Okay, let me give a description on this. Host and port keeps changing for every client and every customer, that we have. Okay, and it also changes for different landscapes. Landscapes, what exactly I mean, that is your dev quality, and PRD. Okay, that is your dev quality and production. Okay, so these are the three. I mean, say for example, one of our participants is working for one of the customers. So the Launchpad Designer would be different in dev, it would be different in quality, it would be different in production, because the host and port would keep changing. REST static URL after host and port for LPD Designer is, I'll mention it below. This document should be so dynamic so that you can easily refer after a month or two, because these happens. Many people ask same questions again and again, so we are documenting each and everything for easy reference. This URL is never going to be changed. This would be a static URL. Okay, so and host and port keeps changing for every client and customer, and it also changes for different landscape. For one client, three different landscapes. Yes, 3 different URLs. The host and port would be different, I mean to say here. This knowledge is very, very important, guys. And now I have also justified why, like now even if I give you the URL of the system, that is totally fine because I have given you the complete answer for this. Okay, fine, let's move ahead now. Let me share the URL with you guys on chat as well. 1 second, guys. Okay, so here we would be giving the same credentials that we have. Let's wait for a minute. Meanwhile, it is launched. Yes. Okay, guys, so this is our SAP Fiori Launchpad Designer. This is only used by technical people in an organization to manage how the complete flow would be in your Fiori Launchpad, which would be accessed by everyone. So I'll mention each and every step in detail so that it can be very easy for you. So this is one thing. Now I'll enter the URL. Sorry, 1 second. For training system that we are using now. It's from here till here. Guys, be prepared, it can change in future as well because the system that we are using now and the system we were using before, even that has changed. So it was 820G, now it is 820F, and there is a different port number as well. So keep and be mentally prepared that this would be very dynamic. And for now you can bookmark it just for your ease because anyways the main concept you are very clear what and where it is exactly. Yes, you can definitely use the IP. So Shekhar, you can share the IP. Moreover, you can find the IP in SMICM as well. So in the SMICM transaction, you can find the IP as well. Okay, so that also you can do it. Shekhar, if you have IP handy, you can send it on the chat so that these guys can use it once they start practicing it. I'll quickly move ahead now. So with steps, log into Fiori Launchpad Designer. It would, by default, it would be catalogs as selected. Okay, thanks a lot. So steps for creating this: log into Launchpad Designer. First step, log into Launchpad Designer. So here what we have to do is, by default catalogs would be selected. Click on plus button for creating a new catalog. But guys, before 1 second. But guys, before I move ahead, I need to give you some understanding. You might have a question, what is catalog? So guys, a catalog is basically that works like a small container. A catalog carries a bunch of your tiles and also the corresponding target mappings for that. And in the target mapping, we would be giving some critical information. In the target mapping, we would be giving some critical information that would have a link. With your Launchpad details. Okay. See guys, what is target mapping? Say for example, there are two concepts, tiles and target mappings. Tile is something that is physically present in the Fiori Launchpad. You have created a tile, so a tile is physically present. If you click on that tile and if something wrong or unexpected happens, it means there is definitely something wrong with your target mapping. Target mapping enables the tile to hit the correct application triggered. Okay, so basically what it does is a tile is something that is physically present in the catalog. Target mapping are the technical details that should be displayed once we click on that tile. Okay, so that plays a very important role. Tile is something that is a physically present, that can be physically available. Target mapping are the technical details, so that a user once clicks on that specific tile, those corresponding details should be compared. So that is what target mapping helps. So we have to give some configuration details. So tile and target mapping combined comes under one catalog. Okay, so that is what we are going to add it. So creating on this for a new catalog, I'll practically do these steps. So here we can find this button. I'll click on this. I'll give the title like Fiori Elements Applications, just for my understanding. And here we would be giving the name. We also have a set of best practices here. So catalog, we normally start with ZCAT underscore any name of our choice. So I can give HCM ZCAT underscore HCM underscore CDS apps. I'll just give this name and we'll click on save. So a new catalog is created. Click on this, provide title and catalog ID, and in our case catalog ID is, okay, so this is my catalog ID. I'm giving the steps and technical details together so that it can be quite easy for you to understand. Okay, once it is done, now you can see tiles and target mappings into picture. So you can click on this plus button and click on new tile. Here you can select app title static, and then you have to give all the details here. Click on add tile and then select last static option. Here we need to give all the details. What all details are required, I'll show you. Title, what is the title that can be appeared? List, rebate, list. Here you can give list, Fiori, anything of your choice. Icon, if you want, you can give any icon of your choice. That is not a problem. Okay, so guys, for transport, we need, see, now we are using one system, so transport is not coming into picture. But anyways, once I'm back, I'll guide you how to add it. So for all this complete configuration, you need a customizing request, not a workbench request. And where you need to add the customizing request, I'll show you that as well. So from the concept point of view, it would be added. We are not adding it, but from the concept and knowledge point of view, it would be clear for you. Okay. And yes, use semantic object navigation that we need. So here we need to give the semantic object name. So my semantic object name is this. This is being triggered here, semantic object name. It is populating. Action, you can give many kind of action, but you can ideally we use as display. Okay, so even for, let me click on this. So this is what you can give. There are many kinds of actions, manage, display, and or many kind of that you can see in this pop-up. So you can use as display, that is fine. Semantic object, we have already added it. And then let me click on save. So this tile has been added successfully. This is a physical present tile, and these are the technical details that we have given for the same. So let me append the details quickly. Okay, click on add tile and then select the last option. Okay, now let me add everything in detail so that your work becomes quite easy. Click on add title and then select, enter title and subtitle. It's a free text. Okay, okay guys, so next is enter your semantic object name, and in the bracket I'll give the name also so that it is very easy for you for future reference. So this is my semantic object name, and action you can keep it as display, that's fine, not a problem. And these details will be used in cross-app navigation concept, which we may start on Friday. Okay, so these things are required. Now someone was asking for the transport. Let me tell you guys, here you can find a settings button. You just need to click on settings, and then instead of none, you need to select your customizing request. So there are so many transports available. The new transport number that you would be creating, you can add it here. So this is how. So guys, let me tell you. So as we are using one system, so I didn't do it, but anyone who has pointed this question is correct. Now, the moment we log into the Fiori Launchpad Designer, we need to go to the settings, and then we need to uncheck this, open this customizing, select the transport, and then click on OK. Post that, what all changes we do here, each and everything would be captured in the transport. Each and everything that we don't have to take care. And the request type is customizing, not a workbench. Okay. So that is one thing. So where we are, we have created a tile, right? So guys, rather than rushing ahead, everyone complete this process, create a semantic object. Everyone create a semantic object, log into the Launchpad Designer, and then complete this process. If you are not capturing the transport, it is automatically part of $temp, right? Okay guys, 1 second. Guys, listen to me now, just hang in, stop posting on chat for a minute. Everyone, most of you have completed the Launchpad role part. Now create a new semantic object, create a new catalog, and create a tile with the process, each and everything that I have did. Once it is done, then we will start with the target mapping. Okay, we have to go very slow because we have received a couple of feedbacks from previous that this is going fast. So we would go in this way only. Okay, so process is very clear what we have to do. This is how you create a semantic object, and this tile process also I have explained. It is easy for you. URL I've already shared on chat. Guys, be quick, and today's session we may extend for 5-10 minutes more because there are more things that I need to tell you. So please keep your other work aside just for today. Everyone create it. If you are facing any issues, let us know. We will help you right away. It is not a piece of code that you can take later in the day and you can do it. Everyone should be in a flow and momentum. Be quick. Guys, I don't think you guys are checking. Some of you are checking your emails. Daily, you will be getting the recordings. Just go to the social tab of your Gmail. You would have each and every recording. Okay. It is a private access given to you. It is not for everyone.
To add to that, even all the videos are updated on the training link as well. They can anytime, any day refer to the training link.
Exactly. Guys, before raising a question, it should be asked in a different way, right? We are acknowledging and helping you the best each and every way, whatever it is possible. Okay, so the user ID and the password for Fiori Launchpad Designer is exactly same of the logon pad. If you are using any of the SAP Yard like Yard 46, 47, you can use that same exactly. Guys, I have also adjusted this in a very proper way so that it can be very easy for you. Each and every step is given. We have given more than sufficient things even than our previous training so that it can be very easy for you. Yes, exactly same. Whoever has posted that question. So the credentials are exactly same if you are using Yard 46 and password, exactly same like that. Okay. I'll ask Raju to send today's recordings as soon as possible. Okay, so that you can refer if you want anything. Yes, exactly. No, it will work for sure. Guys, please be quick and get it done. One small mistake will not, whatever process we are doing, just to make sure that our applications are working as expected. If one step is also missing, it will not stop working. And tomorrow's class we'll have damn interactive, one complete round of entire process. I'll do it. Then for adding the analytical list page and overview page, there are some steps that can be reduced. So by reducing those steps, we would implement that. Tomorrow's session would be very interactive as we are almost on the closure by this Friday. So tomorrow's would be very interactive. You are free to share your ideas, but let's not dominate any process. Each and every process and the way of doing is welcomed. If you have some prior experience in UI5, obviously your way of doing would be a little different. Okay. And guys, make sure everyone has done this much of steps by today, because if you're lagging, nothing is going to work. You do 100 steps to achieve one thing here. If one step is gone, all 99 are of no use. I have mentioned each and everything in maximum detail, theoretically, practical steps, did it practically, each and everything. Nobody would do more than that. Guys, a semantic object should not take more than 2 to 3 minutes, but still locking it is not good, right? So whoever is using OData 16, please come out of it if it is done. Please come out of it so that we should not trouble anyone else. One user ID is maximum shared with 2 people so that things work very smoother. Please, whoever is using OData 16, come out of that. For a better communication, you have a WhatsApp group, just post that whoever is using your specific user ID, come out of it, because it should not take more time. Guys, whoever have completed it, please post me on chat. If at least 4-5 people are done, I can move ahead. Okay. So guys, before we move ahead, anyone has any questions, they can unmute themselves and they can ask me now. Guys, please unmute yourself. These topics are very critical from interview point of view as well. I'm saying that. Anyone has any questions?
Wait, this is Balu here.
Hi, Balu.
I have a question regarding the logic for, let's say we have like 3 apps, okay, and 2 users. One user has access to one app and the other user has access to the other 2 apps. So when you're designing the catalogs, how would you design it? I mean,
how would I design that catalog?
Would you create 2 catalogs or how do you do it?
See, ideally when I started my career, I was not exactly aware of each and every process, like how it used to be. Let me complete the complete thing. So yes, in the very first stage, I have created by using 2 catalogs, one catalog having everything, other catalog having everything. Okay, so with 2 catalogs we achieved it. That was our first step. After that, maybe like in last year, there was a concept called as technical catalog. Okay, so with the help of technical catalog, the management became very easy. So maybe tomorrow, not now, like you're almost about 20, maybe tomorrow I can come up with you with a better solution how to handle it. But yes, obviously, see, now we have 2 or 3 users, right? But if the restriction goes on increasing, we cannot keep on adding more and more catalogs, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so we will be handling it in that way, because if we create 2 catalogs, we can easily handle it in the PFCG and we can add in less. What you told, that was an old approach, but with the help of technical catalog, we can manage things in a better way. So we would be using technical catalog.
Okay, so if you have some information, can you just share it with the team or show some example?
See, that exactly we cannot show. I'll just explain you how it can be done, and then you can practice on your own by using this. We have 3 apps we'll be deploying it, right? So you can use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ved.
Yeah. Okay. See guys, now for CDS with Fiori elements, hiding and unhiding, the data you can do at the backend level. But I just want to share some additional knowledge. Who have some understanding on custom UI for web development? I'll take a few minutes because there is some important thing I want to tell you, and we have a very good team, so it is right to share the knowledge. So now one simple example. In approval, say for example, there is an approval process. So mostly we are using my inbox as a standard app for complete approval. Okay, so that is one thing. And we have creation process like leave request creation. All the leave requests are created in one, and approval we are using my inbox. Okay, so one important thing what you have to take care is in leave request creation. Say for example, you are building a complete custom solution and you want the restrictions on button. Say for example, there are 3 buttons. If user A logins, he can see all the 3 buttons. If B, then this, C, then this. So all these things, if you want to handle it, can only be handled via code. There is no catalog coming into picture. Catalog and everything would take care of the complete application, but nested restrictions in the application would be only handled via code. I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to say. Guys, are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? Or if you have any questions, please ask me now. These are very important from interview point of view. Hello?
So what you meant to say is like based on the user login, we have to control the visibility of the buttons.
Yes, visibility of the buttons will be only handled by code, not by the catalog. This concept will not come into picture. I hope you're understanding why I'm trying to link, because button is part of your code and button is part of your nested application. It is a child of your page, right? So that there is a concept using expression binding. So with the help of expression binding, you can manage the people who are experienced in interface, they can understand it better. But this thing is very important and it is almost asked in each interview question. So most of the people fail. So that is why I'm telling you now, so that you can understand that.
So it is still like extension.
So extension of a custom, extension of a standard application you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. No, not only extension. If you are building a, there is some disturbance. Can others please be on mute? Fine. So Satya, not only extensions, if you are building a custom solution, anywhere, wherever your code comes into picture, you can manipulate the complete application. And ideally, I'm telling you how to manage it also. You can use it via expression binding. So you can create different separate column like flag, and it can display X and Y and Z. Based on the flagging system, you can see if it is X, display this. If it is Y, visible true, false, true, false. These all games you can play. And that is ideally the best way of handling that rather than writing a huge logic in controller. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
So Ved, are you trying to say like by using models and make use of expression binding?
Yes. Models will obviously come into picture, right? In expression binding, you use model. If that model is returning you X, then make it visible
true or false you're telling, right? Using that ternary operator and expression binding. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
That's okay, but how do we link it with the user?
No, that's what I'm saying. See, in the backend you have flags coming in, right? So if it is flags X and Y is nothing but the users, right? So and in backend you can retrieve by the username. If set of users is coming in X flag, then do this. If set of users are coming in Y flag, do this.
Okay, the backend code is also required then.
Yes. See, there is one more thing, what you can do is in the Fiori launchpad, there is some code in UI5. I can share that code maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I have it handy with me. So in the Fiori launchpad, once you log in, you can automatically pick up the username and then you can do it. So even no backend is required. But preferably, I prefer using backend because worst to worst, if someone is using your app as a standalone app, your things will stop working because that launchpad code will only work in launchpad, nowhere else, neither in local, neither in a standalone.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Why I'm bringing all these things, because all these things were linked to each other, so it was important for me to share that knowledge with you. And people who are not with UI5 background, they can ignore it, not a problem. But people with UI5, so I just thought of sharing this additional thing because that is mainly asked in the interview questions, and people may not answer it, so it is better to have that understanding. Okay, fine guys, I think we are good for today. Target mapping, groups and PFCG loads will continue tomorrow, and tomorrow we will have it quite interactive. Okay, so that is it. I'll ask Raju to share the recordings today as soon as possible, and he will share as soon as possible the moment it is uploaded, and he can share it. Document and everything, you'll get it by EOD, like the way you are normally getting it each day. Okay. Anyone having any backlogs, please make sure it is completed by today. Otherwise, tomorrow you won't do it properly. Okay. And if anyone has any concerns, they can message Shikhar personally. We will help you guys. Without showing off, let me tell you, the moment of support you're getting here, nobody else will get it. And I can bet you on that. Okay? Okay guys, thank you so much. Thank you all. Bye.